He used to plan dates, send sweet texts, but now you just feel like you're there. Let's talk about what happens when a man gets comfortable in a relationship. You know, in the beginning, the flowers, the calls, the effort, it all feels exciting. But then over time, it starts to fade. The romance slows down, the little things stop, and you're left wondering, did he change or did he just get too comfortable? Today, I want to talk about what to do or how to address when a man you're dating has changed. Now, this is for women who are in an exclusive relationship, okay? If you know that you guys are exclusive, then this video isn't for you. So if you're in an exclusive dating relationship or you're married, then this video is for you. So I want to teach you how to address when he gets comfortable in a healthy way without losing yourself. If you're new here, welcome to Heal to Do Sexy, where we discuss all things healing, self-love, and relationships. My name is Cynthia. I am a licensed therapist and coach. I'm looking down because I have some notes. So first, I want to normalize that relationships go through changes. We have the honeymoon phase. That's where the bonding happens. That's when you're spending a lot of time together, going on a lot of dates. That's when everything he does is cute. All right? You don't get annoyed with him. You don't get frustrated with him. Like, everything he does, it just turns you on. That's when dopamine is being released in your brain and you guys are bonding. That's the honeymoon phase. But there are phases that happen after that. After that, real life sets in. Work stress, routines, responsibilities. You may be a parent, he may be a parent. An effort in the relationship doesn't always look like grand gestures. Usually in the beginning of the relationship, there are a lot of grand gestures on both sides. And so when we move from the phase of honeymoon to the next phase, sometimes those grand gestures aren't as frequent. And so that can make you begin to question, does he still like me? Does he still care? Does he still want to be in the relationship? But I want to talk about the difference between getting comfortable in the relationship versus being careless, okay? Because the reason why you are probably watching this video is because you're trying to discern, does he care for me anymore? And how do I address that? If you are a woman who may be a people pleaser or you're non-confrontational, it may be very difficult for you to have these types of conversations. So let's talk about the difference between getting comfortable versus careless. So if he's no longer prioritizing you, if you feel more like roommates than partners, if he stopped pursuing you altogether, those are red flags, okay? Just in life be lifing. And relationships, like I said, go through different phases, but you should still be a priority to him. You should not feel like roommates. If you feel like a roommate, that means that this relationship needs something in order to revive it. Okay. It doesn't mean that you should end the relationship, but it means it's going to take intentional work from the two of you in order to revive it. And lastly, if you feel like he's not pursuing you, if you feel like his energy is somewhere else, those are red flags, okay? Because love should deepen over time. It shouldn't disappear. The reason why many of us may have dated toxic or unhealthy men in the past is because the love bombing and the gaslighting of feeling like they just cared about us so much was so intense in the beginning. Then in this phase, he then becomes more careless with you and not concerned about you, but you have already attached to him. And that's why it's very important that you pace yourself with the relationship. That way, when this phase happens, you are able to have this conversation. Okay, so let's talk about a healthy check-in. So there are two groups of women. There are women that suffer in silence, and there are women who communicate in their frustration in a disrespectful way. You know how you could get. Neither one helps. It doesn't help to suffer in silence. What do you get from that? Your relationship should be mutually satisfying. So if there's anything that's happening in your relationship, you have to advocate for yourself. I did a video about teach him how to treat you, and I'll put it up here so that you can watch it. But you are the manual to how people treat you. So don't suffer in silence. And then for the girlies who voice frustration, something I want you to know is that men do not respond to you being to nagging. They don't respond to that. They know how to block that out. They've learned how to block that out at a young age. I remember asking my son, he just turned 10. I remember asking my son, do you like me fussing at you? And he was like, well, I was like, what? Wait a minute. chastising you and you wah, 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 wah. And that's how your man feels when you get to nagging. He wah, 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 wah. Yeah, babe, I hear you, babe. Yeah, okay, babe. Yeah, I'm going to do better, babe. He don't know what you said because he done blocked you out. All right. What works, though, is having a healthy check-in. When I do couples counseling, which I don't do often, but when I do couples counseling, I always encourage the couples to have a weekly check-in. What is going well? That gives the opportunity to praise each other. What is not going well and what could be better, okay? And it can be 5 minutes. This is not for you to harp on him or anything like that. 5 minutes. Baby, I love this week when I was sick, you brought me some soup that made me feel really well. That's what's going well. What's not going well? Let's say when I came up to your job, I kind of felt some type of way because you were talking to somebody, but you didn't say, hey, baby. You didn't greet me like you usually do. Okay. What can be better? I need for you to, I'm trying to come up with things top of my head. I need you to pick up your socks, babe, and put them in the hamper. Something like that. Okay. So you can say something like, babe, I've noticed we don't spend as much intentional time together as we used to. I miss that. And I love for us to bring that back. All right. You ain't saying you don't care about me anymore, because ultimately that's what it feels like. It feels like he doesn't care. But that is not, if you want a man to hear you, you got to use all of your goodness. That means you need to dip those words into honey so that he can hear you. Okay. We used to spend intentional time together. We used to go out and go dancing. And I miss that. I miss when we would go for drives and we would put the top down and we would listen to music. I want to spend more time with you. I want to have access to you. Many men are so focused on providing for their family that they view that becomes the number one thing. And so they can lose focus. And sometimes they need you just to bring it back in and say, this is what I need from you. Okay. If you have a man whose love language, he says, is physical touch, and he's really sex motivated, but you are a woman who you need for him to pour into you, like you need quality time, then you have to express that to him. Baby, I want to do all the freaky things that you want me to do. But in order to do that, I need to feel safe, and I don't feel safe. I don't feel seen. I don't feel heard when we don't spend time together. Watch what that brother do. Maybe that brother gonna call out of work and schedule a whole vacation and take you out of the country. Now, I'm not saying just in case a man watching, because why y'all be watching my videos, but just in case a man watching, I'm not telling her to use sex as a weapon. That is not what I'm saying. But I am telling her to use her womanly wiles for her benefit, okay? And if you're mad, then you mad. You're just gonna be mad, all right? Notice, you're not accusing, you're inviting. You're not saying you don't care about me. You don't care about the relationship. You're not saying that. It's not about nagging. It's about communicating your needs clearly and giving him the chance to step up. Men like a challenge. They do. And they like to be heroes. And when you bring a man a problem who cares about you and loves you, he's going to do what he can to fix it. Okay? So let's talk about balance between his effort and yours. While you want him to put in the effort, you also have to show him what romance means to you. We are not a monolith. Every woman is not the same. So what your needs are very different than maybe women he may have been married to before or who he has dated before. You have to teach him what you need. So if you need quality time, if you need words of affirmation, if you like gifts, you have to teach him that. Don't assume he knows. And let me tell you this, don't assume he knows. Girl, we've been together 20 years. He should know. Baby doll, you are not the woman that he married 20 years ago. We evolve and we change. And as we evolve and change, it's our responsibility to communicate our expectations with our man. Okay? Okay. Sometimes men stop trying because they think she's happy. I don't have to keep doing extras. So tell him what makes you feel loved. Tell him what turns you on. Tell him what has attracted you to him. Tell him he's the things that he may not hear, that you're proud of him. Tell him those things. Be specific, whether it's date nights, words of affirmation, or small gestures. If you know, there are some men that's naturally who they are, and there's some men who need a reminder. It's okay. It doesn't mean that he doesn't love you. It doesn't mean that he doesn't care about you. Okay? Then pay attention. Does he take it in and adjust, or does he ignore you? Now, if he ignores you, child, you're going to have to let him go. Okay? Because we're not staying in relationships where we're not appreciated. I gotta go. I gotta leave. That's what she said in the song. All right? Because if he ignores it, it's not about comfort. Then it's disregard. He's disregarding you. And sometimes men, they get comfortable, but there's also men that will take you for granted. And that may be another video. If you want me to do a video on what to do when he's taking you for granted, let me know. Put that down in the comments, Cynthia. Please do that video, and I will. Okay, I'll do a video on, when he's taking you for granted. All right. So let's talk about your role in this and also your self-worth. Because if he's taking you for granted and you still stay, then you're teaching him that he doesn't have to take care of you and your needs. Sorry. Just put that out there. Here's the truth. You cannot beg a man into caring. He has to be motivated to care for you and to take care of you. If he values you, he will respond to your needs. If he values you, he will respond to your needs. If he doesn't, that tells you everything you need to know. And we're not going to keep having conversations and begging men to value us. Cardi B just taught us that. Maybe I've been listening to her CD. Listen, she made me, child, I almost had to go back to an ex and say, but that's not what this video is about. We're being healthy. Right? Because if he values you, he's going to meet your needs when you bring them to him. Baby, I want to spend more time with you. I miss you. You have been working so hard for our family to provide for us, but I just want some one-on-one time with you. Right? So don't take his comfort as a cue to work harder, perform more, or lower your standards. Because sometimes there are men who are unhealthy who know that if I lean back, she'll lean in, and then she'll be performing for me, and I don't have to show up in this relationship because she just wants a man. Your role is to communicate, not to carry the relationship by yourself. You is not Celine Dion when she said, all by yourself. That is not for you to do. Relationship requires two people, okay? And both parties are carrying that weight. I'm sorry y'all have to deal with my poor singing. But if you made it this far, it is what it is, all right? Listen, when he gets comfortable, it's a crossroad moment. So sorry, y'all. When he gets comfortable, it's a crossroad moment. You either grow together and reignite the spark, or you realize that the spark was one-sided. Healthy love is consistent love. It's not about perfection, but it's about effort. Remember, you are worth the pursuit, you're worth the care, and you're worth consistent love, all right? If this resonated with you, I want you to drop a comment below, and I want you to tell me if, like, currently you're dealing with a man that you feel has got comfortable, or if you've ever dealt with this and how you handled it. This is Healed the New Sexy. My name is... Let me try that again. I'm rushing. This is Healed the New Sexy. My name is Cynthia.